Hello and welcome to my video where I'll be showing you how to knit the cell stitch. This pattern is quite a straightforward lace pattern, and the end result is a mesh that I think will be especially suited to something like a grocery bag. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is cast on a multiple of 4 stitches plus 1. I cast on 21 stitches using the long tail cast on, but you could use your favourite method. For row 1, which represents the wrong side or the back of the knitting, you just need to purl all across the row. So make sure the working yarn is at the front and purl. For row 2, which represents the right side or the front of the knitting, you need to begin by knitting a stitch. So make sure the working yarn is at the back and knit a stitch. Then you need to do a yarn over, which is just where the yarn is wrapped around the right hand needle anti-clockwise. This is a single increase that also creates a hole in the knitting. All you need to do is bring the yarn between the needles to the front and then over the right hand needle. Then we need to do an SK2PO, which stands for slip 1, knit 2 together and pass slip stitch over. It's a double decrease and you begin by slipping a stitch knitwise. So take your right hand needle into the next stitch as if to knit, but instead of knitting it you just slip it off the needle. This transfers the stitch and twists it at the same time. The next step is a K2 tog, which is a single decrease where you knit 2 stitches together. So simply take your right hand needle up into the next 2 stitches, knitwise, and do all of the usual steps of a knit stitch. You'll notice that the working yarn comes from the front in order to complete this stitch, and this will finish creating the yarn over. And that makes 2 stitches into 1. As you can see on the needle, you now have the yarn over crossing over the slip stitch at the back. This is something to note, as you want to make sure that the yarn over remains to the right of the slip stitch during the next steps. To finish the SK2PO, you then need to use your left hand needle to pick up the stitch that you slipped, take it over the K2 tog you just did, and drop it off the end of the needle. As you can see, this decrease leans to the left. Next, make a yarn over again by bringing the yarn to the front, and then knit a stitch. Now repeat yarn over, SK2PO, yarn over and knit 1, over and over until the end of the row. So that's a yarn over by bringing the yarn to the front, SK2PO by slipping a stitch knitwise, knitting 2 stitches together, passing the slip stitch over the knit stitch, again avoiding the yarn over which is crossed over the slip stitch, and dropping it off the needle. Then yarn over, knit 1, and so on. After this row, just make sure the stitches are in the right order and that no yarn overs have gone astray. Since rows 3 and 4 are very similar to, or the same as, rows we've already done, I'll just put the pattern for those up on screen. After you've repeated this pattern a few times, you should have something a bit like this. You get a lovely lace mesh, which has a bit of stretch and is also reversible. Just as a side note, I would recommend ending on one of the purl rows to make it easier to bind off. And if you want to knit this in the round, then you'll need to follow this pattern instead. And that's it, that's how you knit the cell stitch. I really hope you found that useful, and thank you very much for watching.